Danielle, Beda, and in this debate, we will be discussing whether forensic science is becoming more for criminal justice rather than research. Each person will get a certain amount of time to discuss their ideas. I will now introduce to you Susan Benun, the forensic scientist, and Jayne, the academic.
Hello.
Hi. As a forensic scientist, I believe that TV is portraying that we are putting the guilty in jail and acquitting the innocent. TV academics are taking old procedures and making new techniques that don't exist. We, as practicing people, need to share information with academics. There will always be two sides in a courtroom. One side is the scientist saying that we need to research further, and the other side, being the academic, is saying that the evidence is admissible. In order to solve this problem, we must fund the forensics and educate the academics.
Thank you. And Jayne, what is your outlook on forensic science in relation to this?
Well, as much as there are problems with connecting knowledge to academic and scientists, there are many problems solely on the work done in crime laboratories.
Jayne, please further explain what these problems are.
I believe that there's not enough science in forensics. Like, where is it?
We've existed longer than you. There is enough science.
Settle down, settle down. Jayne, prove your statement.
Gladly. Crime labs are 1, overworked, 2, there's a lack of oversight, and 3, too few artification. Everything that's not DNA analysis is not being scrutinized. We need to improve it by being able to recognize patterns and make better decisions.
It isn't that forensic science is being researched, it's that a courtroom isn't a place to validate evidence. Forensics research is going to be influenced by your academics. They are just improving technology and techniques so they can see it on CSI. They won't solve problems. We have perfectly scrutinized DNA analysis.
Well, that is because DNA has many advantages.
Please inform us on these advantages.
Well, DNA has a particular structure and can be computerized.
It has disadvantages as well. Clear fingerprints may have more to compare to and can be affected by pressure. We need a more effective way to make points of comparison.
Jayne, as an academic, do you have any ideas on how to fix this?
We should work with the postal system that know how to make random correspondence between two prints.
I think you're wrong.
Obviously, you think I'm wrong.
We should work with Dr. Sarari, who uses small database from dozens of identical twins, and like this, will firm probabilities.
Or we should learn from Nicholas Pertraccio, who studied tool marks with screwdrivers.
A screwdriver?
Yes, a screwdriver. He hypothesized that no two screwdrivers make the same mark.
What was his experiment?
He made the same marks in different materials to determine the probability of a mark matching the tool. Basically, if something like this works for the industry, it will definitely work for forensic science. We need to understand that Susan and the rest of her scientists are being influenced by what else they know about the case.
The next thing that we will be disputing is false positives. False positive is when an innocent guy is being accused for something that he didn't do. Susan, what is your opinion on the evidence collected in the 2004 terrorist explosion in Madrid?
All the evidence pointed to Brendan Mayfield at first, but it came as a shock to us when an Algerian terrorist was charged with the same crime because his fingerprint was a better match.
False positives happen way more often than they should. So why does this happen?
So us forensics examiners are starting to recognize that fingerprint testing is based on assumption and does not protect against biased examiners.
Even the worst of us believe that fingerprinting is probably the most accurate, even though no one has tested the fact that every print on every finger is unique. No one doubts it.
Fingerprints are complex combinations of genetic and environmental factors. Print patterns are fixed for life, and can you explain to me the process in which you analyze fingerprints and how you can improve it?
Of course I can. There are 4 steps to the ACE-V identification procedure. 4 steps are 1, analysis, 2, comparison, 3, evaluation, and 4, verification. There are many steps. So first steps of analysis are loops, whirls, arcs, ridge endings, shape of ridge and pore patterns. Then there's comparison, which is you check the similarities. How do you check it? You check it through AFIS, the database filtered fingerprint. And what do you get from this? 3 conclusions: identification, exclusion, and inconclusive. Because of protocol, false negatives, we can miss identification of criminal rather than miss convicting innocent people.
Examiners ask all the time, why do false negatives happen at all? If this system's so great, why do they happen at all?
Well, Jayne has the answer.
Well, for starters, in the ACE-V procedure, analysis comparison should be 2 different steps in order to find new features.
But it's more time consuming, and the more time we save, the more lives we save.
But isn't this the mistake that falsely accused Brandon Mayfield of the terrorist attack in Madrid?
Relax, guys. Take it down a notch.
Well, that's not the only problem you mentioned, that during the ACV identification procedure it is re-examined by a new forensic scientist, but the second examiner knows whose work he or she is checking, and this is not an independent work. Lastly, I just wanted to say, in a case study, fingerprints were re-examined by scientists who were told details about each case, which gave them a biased view on the situation, and they changed their decision.
Jayne is saying that fingerprinting is clearly subjective, but many people, like Jor, did a study in which examiners are given fingerprints made by actually Jor himself and are asked to identify them. In the Haber's book, they quote and say, even years of experience may not improve an examiner's accuracy.
Well, people that are biased are immature and shouldn't even be in the business, so they should just go work in Disneyland.
Kevin Carshaw is the head of forensics in Manchester, where they separated forensics examiners and police work. How do you feel about that?
We need this in the United States of America, because separating these people will lead to no biased decisions.
Our last segment is the reproduction of the fingerprint. Reproduction is not always perfect and can match more than one person. Christopher Champoud came up with the probabilistic approach as a solution to this problem, which allows examiners to talk about possible matches. What are your point of views on this?
Well, it's not yet ready for the court until fingerprints are reestablished as more of a science and combined with cultural science.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Susan and Jayne, for coming and showing the world that there is still hope for forensic science.